Namaste everyone. This is Dr. Manoj Kutteri from Atmantan Wellness Center. In the recent times, we have been hearing a lot of news about yoga being helpful in improving immunity or boosting immunity. Let's look at these scenarios. From the research works which is done in the field of yoga, it's been proven about some relation that the yoga has or yogic practices has. It's not only the yogic asanas I'm talking about, but the entire practices that are detailed in the yoga schools have been found to be quite useful in reducing the pro-inflammatory cytokines such as IL-1 beta, interleukin 1 beta, and also to increase the level of anti-inflammatory cytokines such as IL-10. And there are also a number of studies that explains about efficacy of yoga in changing the level of protein that determines or that works on the DNA transcription of the inflammatory cytokine genes. So that is at a genomic level. Now, coming back to the efficacy of yoga on different systems, which is beyond doubt that that the immune system or the working of the immune system is purely depending on how well our body systems are working in coordination with each other. And we have already discussed about the efficacy of yoga on musculoskeletal system on a different video. Today, let's look at the other systems such as the digestive system and the eliminative system, the endocrine system, and the circulatory system. When it comes to the digestive system, we know that a lot of practices in yoga, when it comes to the asanas or the yogic physical poses, these are basically they impart some form of pressure, a uniform pressure within the abdominal cavity. So a lot of vital organs which determine our immunity, including your gut, your spleen, your liver, all these things are situated in the abdominal cavity. So when you do a forward bend, backward bend, the spinal twist, these things actually exerts a pressure which is a uniform pressure on the abdomen, which helps in improving circulation towards its abdominal organs and also to ensure that there is some form of massaging effect that happens on the abdomen. A lot of ancient literature, not only from India but even from Taoist practice and even the Japanese techniques, they talk about giving massage to the abdominal organs to improve your immunity and to actually help you improve your health. So yoga does the same thing, but it's more in an active way. Like massage, when you're taking massage, it's more like a passive form of exercise, whereas yoga is an active form of exercise. Even one of the practice, if you really look at, it's called as Agnisara Kriya, where you have a flapping movement of your abdomen. So it really creates an abdominal pumping effect, which helps in improving the circulation. It also helps in improving the drainage, because your biggest venous drainage is actually just in the abdominal organ. It passes through the abdominal cavity. So it actually helps in massaging all these different systems, and it actually helps in improving your digestion as well. And besides doing these things, we also do a lot of breathing practices in yoga, like your pranayama. And there are particularly something called as a diaphragmatic breathing we do like in yoga, and this also helps in keeping the diaphragm, moving the diaphragm up and down, which is also found to be highly beneficial to massage the abdominal organs and also to prevent other conditions such as even acidity induced GERD, regurgitation and things like that. Okay, so this is actually what yoga does for the digestive system. Now when it comes to eliminative system, that the entire elimination in the body, in the human body, happens on four different mainly due to four different organs. One is your skin and your digestive system and your respiratory system and also your urinary system. Now coming to the different systems, one by one, the practice of yoga, especially the dynamic practices such as the sun salutation and things like that, works on a level where you are actually able to improve your sweating. Thereby you improve your skin functions. There is a better oxygenation to the skin as well, and there is a better circulation through yoga, so your peripheral circulation gets improved. There is much more nourishment that goes to the skin as well, which is one of the basic foundation, like the proper blood supply and nerve supply are the two major component of a healthy organ. Okay, so these two things will be improved when you do yogic practices. Now coming back to the level of your abdomen, basically we already discussed about how the massaging effect on the abdomen increases the peristaltic movement, which is the propulsive movement of your abdomen. It can actually help you in improving your elimination through abdomen, in terms of if you're constipated and things like that. It's a great practice to do, which actually helps in eliminating the constipation. It can regularize your bowel movements. Then coming back to the kidneys, practice of yoga definitely help in improving circulation to the kidneys as well. Your filtration rate increases, and also there is a better elimination of toxins through the kidneys, like when you practice yogic techniques. And there are certain techniques which are basically able to help stimulating your kidneys and adrenals, like such as yoga mudra. When you do, it puts pressure right on the kidney, or on the side of the kidney, which helps in improving circulation to that particular area. Now the last vital organ, which is lungs. I don't have to say anything about it, because you know that the entire practice of pranayama is mainly aiming at improving the lung efficiency and capacity of the lungs. So it definitely helps in improving the function of your respiratory system by aerating the different lobes of your lungs. Normally we'll come to that in a later stage, like about respiratory system. Okay, so these are the two systems which are related together, like the digestive system and the eliminative system. Now coming back to the circulatory system, practice of yoga, as we discussed when we discussed the musculoskeletal system, the practice of yoga helps in recruiting the entire muscle fibers in action. So which means there is definitely improved muscular activity when you do yoga, and there is an improved sensitization on all the muscle fibers, which definitely helps in improving the venous return or the pumping action from the muscles. Although you are not really improving the bulk of the muscles, there is a better toning up and strength of the muscles, which helps in bringing together a good contraction from the muscles, and that helps in pumping the blood back to the heart. And yoga also helps at the same time helps in relaxing the muscles as well. So the muscles are able to receive the blood supply and nutrients in a better way without any resistance being offered from the muscles. Okay, so that way the pumping action of the heart also improves, because yoga has been rated as one of the best cardiovascular exercise, which helps in giving a soothing effect to the heart, and it also helps in calming down your nervous system as well, your sympathetic and parasympathetic overplay. So it actually just brings a balance between these two, and thereby you can actually have a soothing effect, a calming effect on the heart, and it actually helps in relaxing your heart, basically the circulatory system. Okay, and also what it does is there are a lot of inverted practices that are being done in yoga, like your sarvangasana or even shirshasana or Vipreet Karani and all those things. So these inverted poses also ensures that there is a better circulation that is given for the sensory organs, your eyes and ears and things like that. Because in normal circumstances, you may not be getting, especially when you have eye strains and all those things, that you get dryness in the eyes. So practice of yoga helps in nourishing all these organs. So the sensory functions are much more improved by the practice of yoga. Now coming back to the last system, which is basically the endocrine system, I think it needs a bit more explanation in terms of how yoga helps in improving the energy levels. And there are a lot of number of practices in yoga which helps in improving thyroid functions basically. And there are even what we spoke about in hatha yoga about the bandhas and mudras. So mainly the body lock, like your chin lock and all those things, helps in improving circulation towards the thyroid. A lot of focusing practices are basically helpful for the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. and the abdominal practices like or core building practices and certain practices that where you have a massaging effect on the abdomen. It actually helps in improving the adrenal function. So even for adrenal fatigue or where there is imbalance in the steroid secretions, body steroids, yoga is a brilliant form of exercise which helps in balancing the hormone systems that way. And these primarily the mudras and bandhas, like the body locks, are being used as a tool for unblocking this vital energy flow. Okay, thereby the endocrine system will gain a lot more benefit by the practice of yoga. Okay, so these are the 4 systems I'm covering today, and I'll be coming back to you for the other systems, because there are much more details that we need to discuss about systems such as respiratory system, the nervous system primarily, because yoga is actually found to be a classical tool, like for improving your brain functions and cognitive development and all those things, which will come to that later. All right. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please do get in touch with me or my colleagues from Atmantan. Will be more than happy to assist you. Thank you for watching. Namaste.